Hi. So I was very lucky to have a smooth pregnancy, and I enjoyed my pregnancy really well. Like my skin was glowing, my hair was amazing. I had a beautiful bump right in front. So I thankfully had a very easy pregnancy. The biggest challenge for me was not having coffee. Like that. That's how blessed I was. Um, in terms of like post pregnancy, the biggest challenge was just mentally trying to figure out like what to do. Like everyone's giving advice from all angles, from like your elders and and your nannies, and everyone's just trying to help. But it's exhausting to filter through that and figure out what works for you and what you want to do. So that was the most challenging part.
Well, for me, the most challenging part of my pregnancy was taking care of myself for 9 months. I think that was the most difficult part. And of course, the nausea that I had for complete 5 months. And post pregnancy, I would say the most difficult thing for me was sleep deprivation.
My most challenging part of pregnancy and post pregnancy was the hormonal changes and the mood swings.
So for me, the most challenging part of the postpartum was breastfeeding. It took me 2 weeks to get hold of it. As a new mother, I found it really difficult, and I didn't know how to take care of me with while taking care of her.
So, honestly speaking, here about my issues during pregnancies were close to none. I think there are few which, if you read about it or your elders around you tell you, I think your mind gets prepared about the same. Yes, about having issues post pregnancy, I think it is the most severe one because you are awake almost half the night and you don't get that time for yourself, and it's more about getting those mood swings because I think it's a life changing moment. Once you deliver the baby, your body goes through certain changes, your mind is so disturbed because you don't know what to do. And with me, because I had two kids back to back, there was barely a gap of a year. So for me, managing both was a challenge, but because I had support of my in-laws, my elders, I think it was managed. But post pregnancy, it's more about the internal changes that the body goes through. So it happens with every woman.
Hello, everyone. Um, First of all, I would like to wish all you beautiful ladies a very happy Mother's Day. I would rather say post pregnancy was the most challenging part of all of us. Mostly is the postpartum depression, which was not very common those days, and ladies were struggling. I gave birth to my twins in 2013. This term was known, but was not very prevalent, or people were not very serious about this term, and they were not taking it seriously. But I think I underwent postpartum depression soon after I delivered my twin boys. And the most challenging part of the pregnancy, not post pregnancy, or should I call it twin pregnancy, uh, was like first 3 months where I could barely eat, and I used to feel sleepy all the time. Didn't have any energy to get up in the morning and to brush my teeth. My energy levels were quite low in the first trimester, and as soon as the first trimester got over, I had like proper insomnia for 6 nights continuously. That those 6 days I can never forget in life. I had to literally take a sleeping pill, which was good for me, which was for me being a pregnant lady, and it did help me. But I cannot forget those 6 days, no matter how hard I tried. But I just couldn't sleep.
I wouldn't term it as challenges. For me, it was more of an adaptation process. And the ones that really stood out for me at the first being bodily changes, which all women will probably talk about. And it wasn't just limited to bodily changes. For me, it was more about the changes that I felt emotionally and mentally that actually took a toll on me during and post pregnancy, at least for the first few months. Um, but I quickly learned to adapt to it. And I'd just like to say that for all women, it's very important that you are happy during and post pregnancy for your child to be healthy and happy. So please take care of yourself, and especially your mental health. The second one was adapting to healthy eating habits and a routine. I'm notoriously known for skipping meals and eating junk, so I had to give up all of that and have healthy diet and have a proper routine, which is very important for a baby's development. So that was another thing that I thought was challenging and I had to adapt to. And the third one, funnily, is adulting. So it's funny because I am an adult, but for me, when I say adulting, it was more like having to realize that now I'm responsible for another individual. An individual's living and breathing would completely depend on me, at least for the first few years of my child being born into this world, or even while she's in my womb. So having to understand that responsibility and to take on new role as a mother was a challenge, I'd say.
I had induced labor because I had to be rushed into delivering a baby, but my labor lasted for 32 hours, and the epidural didn't work on me. I was given 2 epidurals because the doctors thought that the first one was not put in correctly. Both didn't work, so that was very, very painful. I think the second most difficult thing is breastfeeding. It is overrated, and that's my personal opinion. I don't mean to offend anyone. There are a lot of myths and there are a lot of superstitions that surround breastfeeding. And for a postpartum mom who's hormonal, a lot of doubt is in her mind, and these additional things make it more difficult. Moms just need to know they're doing the best and they're good at what they're doing because mom knows best, right?
Lack of support. So, pampering and support is precisely we all new mothers need from our partner and family members around. So, for me, even if somebody offered me to babysit for half an hour, that was it. 24/7 babysitting had really become monotonous and challenging for me. B, I would say lack of education. So for me, breastfeeding had really become challenging and overwhelming. I wish I had an educator like Swapnil Kaushik then to save me from that chronic fatigue. And I was totally relying on Google information, which was also quite confusing and misleading too. So I didn't know if I could support breastfeeding with top feed post 6 months.
So, the one thing that was really challenging for me postpartum was breastfeeding. It was actually the loneliness that came with breastfeeding that was more challenging for me. I just couldn't um, come in terms with the fact that, I have to wake up every few hours to feed a baby all alone. I just couldn't do that.
So, what was the hardest part of pregnancy? I would say for me it was the postpartum, because nobody prepares you about what's going to happen after the baby comes into the world, and there are so many things changing around you all of a sudden. It does took me some time to adjust to the reality.
In terms of Mother's Day, honestly, I just want a day where nobody needs my help, whether it is my husband or it is my child. Like a day to myself, undisturbed, with my phone off. That'd be great.
And as a Mother's Day gift, I would love a handmade card by my son. That would make my day.
For Mother's Day, I really want a vacation to Kashmir. Thank you.
The best gift for me for Mother's Day would be spending the whole day with her and my husband and just chilling together.
The Mother's Day gift for me, I think I'm one kind of a mother who would want to spend that day with my kids. And in the past, my kids, who are very young, have managed to arrange a candlelight dinner for me they've done pizzas all by themselves, like making pizzas at home for me, and they've made it very special. So I think I would not want to take a day off and pamper myself in a salon or something, but I would want to be with them, be with my family, and enjoy that time.
I would like to be with my boys. Their company is itself in itself is a gift for me, and just to be with them, just to spend time with them, or to read with them, simply reading a book or watching a movie. So I just want to be them. I think that's the most beautiful gift they can give me on Mother's Day.
For me, it is intangible. What I really want is for my child to be happy and healthy, and just to see her smile. And that would be the perfect Mother's Day gift for me. So, thank you.
One thing I would want for Mother's Day, my baby is still very young, so I am extremely sleep deprived. I think a vacation or just a day maybe where I can sleep, not worry about time. Probably just be alone to eat and go for a spa. And that's about it. Happy Mother's Day.
All that I'd want this Mother's Day is time. Just time, such that I can spend with her, play around with her favorite toys, talk to her about a lot of things that she's learning and how I can add on to her learning phase. So if there's anything I'd want this Mother's Day, it's time with my daughter. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you.
Gift I would choose for Mother's Day for myself would be a vacation or a day out with my old friends only, no baby, no kid, so that I can be carefree the way I used to be.
Yes, all I want is a remote. I want to lie down on the couch and I don't want anyone else. I've asked everyone to go out and have fun this Mother's Day, and I want to be left all alone in the house doing nothing and just watching TV. What about you?
Also, if I ever be granted a Mother's Day gift, I'll definitely, undoubtedly, will ask for a complete night's sleep without any interruptions. I just hope someday. Thank you.